Through selective breeding, humans transformed fierce wolves into gentle, fluffy dogs. But that's only the beginning. Selective breeding has allowed people to play God, shaping animals in ways that sometimes lead to unsettling results. Here are some of the most disturbing pets we've created. Number 15. Dwarf horses. When we think of dwarves, most people are filled with ounces of childhood nostalgia. Fond memories of Disney films and fantasy novels might spring to mind, but the image of a dwarf horse is something altogether more disturbing. The fascination with dwarf animals has developed in recent years. Teacup animals like pigs and dogs are altogether a very cute sight. This is an example of proportional dwarfism, where the animal's entire body is smaller but balanced in length and size. It's this condition which preserves the adorable appearance of a puppy or piglet that many have fallen in love with. Look what we have at the farm. Aren't they cute? They're so little. However, a more sinister sight comes from disproportionate dwarfism, as seen in these photos of dwarf horses. The condition often gives tiny legs to an unusually large body or head, a sight that can be disturbing to some as the horse begins to look like an awkward Frankenstein of a stallion. Unfortunately, these horses are prone to many health complications which are related to their condition. There's a common problem for horses with disproportionate dwarfism. The organs of a horse still try to grow the same size as a normal horse, causing significant problems as they all begin to interfere with each other. It looks like even a dwarf horse has to deal with many of life's biggest problems. Number 14. David Bowie's dog. Psychologists have often said that people are drawn towards dogs that in some way resemble the owner. This is certainly the case for the late rock legend David Bowie, who shared an astounding similarity with his dog, Max. His pet Pooch, a hybrid of Shih Tzu and Poodle, appears to have heterochromia. This is a condition which gives an animal two different eye colors. Max has one brown and one blue eye. This is distinctly similar to his owner, David Bowie, who also appeared to have one brown eye and one blue eye. David Bowie's condition, however, didn't come from birth. Rather, he is said to have been punched in the face by his friend George Underwood. The singer was apparently attacked during an argument over a girl. The trauma left his left eye permanently dilated and made it look a different color. Despite Max appearing otherwise unthreatening, this condition is unsettling to many onlookers. The asymmetry between both eyes does create the feeling that the dog's not quite natural and makes the viewer slightly unnerved. Either way, the dog was great company for David Bowie in his lifetime, and similarities like this are perfect for maximizing the connection between dog and owner. Number 13. Sam the dog. The age-old saying goes that a dog is a man's best friend. Well, one look at the infamous Sam the dog will have you questioning such a claim. Sam is the three-time winner of the world's ugliest dog contest, where the judge apparently recoiled when he was first placed on the table. This is pretty impressive, as the Californian competition is held annually, and the judges will have seen their fair share of horrifying dogs over the years. He has been mistaken for anything from a burn victim to an alien. This is because of his hairless body, brown, splotched and wrinkly skin, and Austin Powers teeth that jut out at very unusual angles. His pedigree is a crested Chinese hairless, but you wouldn't be able to tell by looking at him. Even for a breed renowned for their ugliness, Sam manages somehow to raise the bar even higher. Sam's fame led to appearances on television shows and even a cameo in a horror movie, where his look was deemed too realistic for special effects. Fans from around the world sent him gifts and letters, some expressing genuine affection, and others just morbid curiosity. He was once invited to a Halloween party as the guest of honor, where he won yet another Scariest Costume award, without even wearing a costume. Despite his looks, Sam had a surprisingly gentle temperament, often curling up in his owner's lap and snoring contentedly. Most unusual of all is his owner's affection for him. Susie Lykoi told the early show that she thinks Sam is very beautiful, but admits that people are very horrified that she's always kissing him. Beauty may well be in the eye of the beholder, but Sam is not as fetching as his owner might have you believe. Number 12. The Damascus Goats. The Damascus Goat is truly a polarizing figure. To some, this breed may seem like something that snuck out of the gates of hell, a terrifying caricature of the already unattractive animal we're so familiar with. To others, the Damascus Goat is a figure of beauty, elegance, and extreme character. Often referred to as the pug of goats, the Damascus Goat has a characteristically stubby face. The squashed, almost peeled-back features can be deeply traumatizing for some. Anyone unfortunate enough to set eyes on this cinnamon animal may struggle to wipe the image from their mind. Breeders, worried that buyers will be put off by the appearance of the goat, have also been known to mutilate the goat's unusually long ears. This means that many of them appear in popular images to have stubs as a substitute. In some circles, Damascus goats are even considered status symbols, with wealthy collectors vying for the most bizarre-looking specimens. Videos of these goats strutting at festivals have gone viral, sparking heated debates online about animal aesthetics and ethics. Some enthusiasts claim the goats have gentle, almost dog-like personalities, making them surprisingly endearing companions. There are even social media accounts dedicated entirely to showcasing the most eccentric Damascus goats, amassing thousands of curious followers. Yet this distaste for the animal is not universally accepted. Unusual though it may be, in Saudi Arabia, so-called goat festivals are held. During these, Damascus goats have their features judged in a beauty competition and are auctioned off accordingly. The more extreme the height, the floppier the ears, the stranger the face, the more the goat is said to be worth. Still, the freaky appearance may leave people wondering whether the road to Damascus was really worth it for St. Paul. Number 11. Duncan, the famous two-legged boxer. The skill of any boxer is being able to think on their feet. This is something Duncan, a famous boxer dog, has demonstrated to the world perfectly. Duncan sprang to fame in 2014 after a YouTube video was posted showing him running along the sandy Rockaway beach, using nothing other than his front two legs. This attracted interest from millions of viewers around the globe who sat in awe at Duncan's outstanding balancing skills. He was born without much of a chance. From birth, his rear two legs were contorted into the shape of an X. The weight of these malformed limbs was causing serious problems for his pelvis, and his future seemed unlikely. Duncan's owners, Geis and Walters, were given an almost impossible choice. They either put Duncan down or amputate the boxer dog's back legs. His owners, who run the non-profit animal charity Panda Paws Rescue, decided on the latter. Since birth, Duncan has been offered and tried several different animal wheelchairs to act as a substitute for his amputated back legs. Despite the best efforts of his caretakers, Duncan would wriggle out of every harness and contraption, determined to move on his own terms. He quickly became a local celebrity, often drawing crowds at the park who cheered him on as he bounded after tennis balls. His playful spirit and refusal to give up inspired not just dog lovers, but anyone facing adversity. Duncan's story was even featured on national television, further cementing his status as a canine icon. Too determined to be limited, Duncan has rejected them all. To this day, he continues miraculously to run only on his front legs, a seriously acrobatic task. Duncan may be a sore sight to some, but he remains a source of inspiration for millions of others. As with any boxer, Duncan wasn't put off by the fact that he had a rocky start. Now it's time for today's topic. A chilling photo surfaced on the internet a few months ago, leaving millions of people both horrified and fascinated. The image, which shows a cat with unnervingly long, distorted legs and an eerie posture, has sparked heated debates across social media. The million-dollar question remains, is it real? According to rumors, the photo allegedly originated from a cat shelter in Dubai. The shelter, known for housing exotic breeds, is said to have been experimenting with selective breeding. Reports claim that breeders were attempting to create unique feline traits, but the result was this unsettling creature. Some say the cat's leg abnormalities are a genetic mutation caused by these experiments, while others believe the photo is an elaborate hoax or a product of digital manipulation. Experts remain divided. While some veterinarians argue that such deformities could occur naturally, others dismiss the image as too bizarre to be real. Meanwhile, conspiracy theories have emerged, with claims that the cat was part of a secretive breeding program gone wrong. Whether it's a real genetic anomaly or a clever fabrication, the photo has left the world questioning the ethics of breeding and the mysteries of what might be lurking in the shadows of experimentation. What do you think? Number 10. Rhea the naked birdie. Rhea the bird is a truly unnerving sight. Her small stature, at only 2 inches tall, and entirely featherless body both combine to make onlookers immensely uncomfortable. Rhea suffers from a rare disease called cytosine beak and skin disease. This is a skin condition that has caused all of her feathers to fall out. Unusually, the result of this is that she now looks like an uncooked chicken. When her owner, Isabella Eisenman, set up an Instagram account for Rhea, she attracted attention from all around the globe. Internet fame followed very rapidly as hundreds of thousands were intrigued by her strange appearance. Rhea's quirky personality shone through in her videos, where she would strut confidently in her colorful sweaters, sometimes even bobbing her head to music. Fans began sending her tiny sunglasses and hats, turning her into a miniature fashion icon. Some artists even created digital portraits and cartoons of Rhea, celebrating her unique look. She was invited to virtual pet shows and featured in several online articles, further boosting her celebrity status. Rhea's story inspired a wave of support for other special needs animals, with her followers donating to avian charities in her name. Her Instagram account became a hub for sharing uplifting stories about resilience and acceptance. Even celebrities commented on her posts, marveling at her confidence and charm. This high-profile status began to benefit Rhea in a very personal way. A known side effect of her condition is that Rhea is often very cold with no feathers to warm her. Her new fans were immensely moved by the image of a shivering Rhea, and they began doing what they could to help. Over 100 sweaters were knitted specifically for Rhea and were posted in from a range of countries. High-profile brands like Chanel joined in on the fun, and the hashtag Rhea Sweater Collection soon gained traction. It just goes to show even the creepiest of creatures can draw compassion from all around. Maybe everyone is really kind after all. Number 9. Giant snails. The giant African land snail is a more sinister beast than you might think. On paper, it's a quirky, exotic, and unusual pet. In practice, it is a parasitic pest dangerous even to humans. One of the most damaging things about giant snails are the diseases they are riddled with. Their slime is believed to carry a parasite which is responsible for a type of meningitis which humans are extremely susceptible to. This is partly why they are illegal to keep as a pet in the United States. More off-putting, giant snails are vulnerable to infestations of mites and flies, a horrific image when one thinks of this mixing with the snail's slimy body. In Florida, a single escaped snail once triggered a statewide eradication campaign, costing millions of dollars and involving teams of snail hunting experts. These snails can lay up to 1,200 eggs a year, making them nearly impossible to control once they get a foothold. There are stories of them devouring entire gardens overnight, leaving nothing but a trail of destruction and glistening residue. Some owners have reported their snails escaping enclosures and turning up in the most unexpected places, like inside shoes or even refrigerators. Their shells, which can grow as large as a human fist, have been mistaken for rocks or even small footballs. In some cultures, they are considered a delicacy, while in others, they are feared as harbingers of agricultural doom. The sheer size and resilience of these snails have made them the stuff of urban legend in some communities. They also have a terrifying appetite. Giant snails have been known to chew through walls for the calcium contained in the plaster. This apparently helps with shell maintenance. We can count ourselves lucky that they don't have a taste for human flesh. Though they are kept as pets in many parts of Asia and are legal in the UK, the giant snail's toxic slime wouldn't exactly bring you out of your shell. Number 8. Chase the dog. Chase, a crested Chinese hairless from South Wales, resembles something more like a withered troll doll than a household pet. Armed with only a few tufts of hair, a crab-like walk, and no teeth, Chase nabbed third place in California's World's Ugliest Dog competition in 2017. For this achievement, he nabbed himself the unfortunate title of Britain's Ugliest Dog. He was also rewarded with a 3-foot trophy, which he has been pictured proudly beside. In fact, Chase's fame didn't stop at the trophy. He quickly became a minor celebrity in his hometown, drawing curious glances and even autograph requests at the local park. Children would giggle and point, but Chase seemed to bask in the attention, wagging his tail with a lopsided enthusiasm. Once, a local bakery even made a cake in his honor, complete with a fondant version of his signature crab walk. He's been featured in several quirky online videos, one of which went viral after he attempted to sing along to a pop song, much to the delight of viewers. Chase's wardrobe is surprisingly extensive, with everything from tiny tuxedos to sparkly bow ties, all tailored to fit his unique physique. He's even inspired a small line of novelty greeting cards, each one featuring his toothless grin and a punny caption. Despite his unconventional looks, Chase has a knack for making people smile wherever he goes. Despite this appearance, Chase was not known to pass up the chance to party. Most people might be embarrassed to have a dog with a reputation for such ugliness, but his owner, Storm Shaler, seems unperturbed. Storm has publicly admitted she once brought Chase as her +1 to a friend's wedding. Not exactly the sort of thing you'd want to see hanging around the buffet. And so, Shaler has affectionately described her clumsy companion as a one-of-a-kind dog with plenty of sparkle. I suppose sometimes personality can make up for appearances. Either way, it doesn't look like anyone will be chasing Britain's ugliest dog, Chase, anytime soon. Number 7. Flowerhorn. Also known as the blood parrot, flowerhorns are one of the first ever man-made fish. This is made even more unusual by the fact that because they've been bred artificially, they have no natural habitat. They have a reputation for acting like vicious guard dogs. They are extremely aggressive towards any fish unlucky enough to share a tank with them, but have a very unusual quality. Because they've been bred by humans for humans, they're weirdly interactive with their owners. They've been known, for example, to swim up to the top of the tank so they can be petted. This doesn't make them perfect, though. Some flowerhorn enthusiasts believe that the size and shape of the nuchal hump can bring good luck, and competitions are held to judge the most impressive specimens. Their vivid colors and unique markings are the result of careful crossbreeding, with each fish displaying a one-of-a-kind pattern. Owners often decorate their tanks with elaborate backgrounds and bright lights to show off the flowerhorn's dramatic appearance. Despite their aggressive nature, flowerhorns can recognize their owners and will often follow their movements outside the glass. Feeding time can be a spectacle. as these fish eagerly dart around and even jump for food. In some cultures, flowerhorns are considered a status symbol, and rare varieties can sell for thousands of dollars. Their popularity has led to a thriving online community where fans share photos and breeding tips. They are often a blood-red color and may seem gruesome to onlookers because of this gory appearance. They also have a very unusual bump on the top of their head which looks a bit like a brain that's been cracked out of a skull. This is called the nuchal hump and may be tremendously disconcerting because it reminds people of such a bloody sight. Though friendly, you can be excused for finding something fishy about the flowerhorn. Number 6. The Sarama pygmy chickens. Named after the Rama, a fierce Thai king, and coming from Malaysia only 50 years ago, the Sarama chicken is truly a sight to behold. However, the history of the Sarama chicken is no walk in the pen. Their breed can be traced back to the 1600s, but the current lot are not direct descendants. You could say they're more like hen pals. They were made illegal in the US in 2000 because they were badly affected by the bird flu epidemic, and health officials were terrified that they begin to infect the states, with potentially tragic consequences. Traditional Malaysian names for the bird are fearless warrior or toy soldier. This is partly because of their upright posture and V-shape, giving them the impression of an animal always ready for conflict. At poultry shows, Sarama chickens often steal the spotlight with their proud strut and tiny stature. Some owners even train their Saramas to perform tricks or walk on miniature leashes, much to the delight of onlookers. Their feathers come in a dazzling array of colors and patterns, making each bird unique. Despite their small size, Saramas are known for their bold personalities and will often challenge much larger birds. In Malaysia, there are even beauty contests dedicated solely to Sarama chickens, where judges score them on posture, feather quality, and confidence. Their eggs are equally tiny, often compared to marbles, but are prized for their delicate flavor. Collectors and enthusiasts sometimes pay high prices for rare or particularly striking Sarama specimens. Some may find their size unnatural looking. The Sarama is a nimble creature with a potential for some seriously painful pecking. Since the bird flu pandemic has passed, they've begun to regain popularity around the world. Assertive though they may be, some find their size makes them perfect as a therapy pet and great company for young children. This means that despite their title and appearance, owners will be pleased to know that they'll be spared from any Sarama drama. Number 5. Nudie the red-eyed guinea. Genetic modification can be terrifying territory. There can be hideous consequences when humans try to play God and design animals in the way they want. Nudie is a so-called skinny pig, a genetically modified guinea pig that has red eyes and is completely unable to grow fur. This creates a demonic appearance when combined with her pure white skin. The blob of white and red is hard to imagine as a household pet, but she belongs to Ashley Loach of Northampton. Visitors are often startled when they first meet Nudie, expecting a soft, furry creature, and instead finding a warm, wrinkled body. She requires special care, including cozy blankets and heated pads to keep her comfortable during colder months. Nudie's unique look has actually made her a bit of a local celebrity, with curious neighbors stopping by just to catch a glimpse. Some people are fascinated by her gentle personality, which contrasts sharply with her unusual appearance. Ashley sometimes dresses Nudie in tiny sweaters, both for warmth and to soften her look for guests. Despite her odd looks, Nudie enjoys being held and will often snuggle up in the crook of Ashley's arm. Her favorite treat is a slice of cucumber, which she nibbles with surprising enthusiasm. Contrary to popular belief, the pinkness of Nudie's eyes doesn't actually affect her vision. Instead, the pinkness is just an absence of pigment and is completely common in guinea pigs. It does, however, cause complications in assessing the eyesight of guinea pigs as the normal tools cannot be used. Why anyone would want a furless guinea pig is still a mystery. Slimy to hold and more prone to cold, the drawbacks of this genetic modification seem more obvious than any benefit. As for the name skinny pig, Nudie is plumper than her title would have you believe. But hey, not every guinea can be picture perfect. Number 4. Mitten Cats. Everyone's heard of cats having extra lives. Now prepare to see a cat with some extra toes. Polydactyl cats, or mitten cats, are famous for their strange-looking feet. This is a condition that can cause the cat some serious problems, as too many toes on their front paws can stunt the growth of their forelegs. Also known as pancake feet, the most horrifying thing about these cats is how much these extra toes change how the cat looks. Some mitten cats have such wide paws that they leave unusual prints, almost like tiny hands, wherever they walk. Owners often find their cats can grip toys, or even open doors with surprising dexterity. In some cases, the extra toes curl or twist, giving the paws a gnarled, almost mythical appearance. Ernest Hemingway famously kept a colony of polydactyl cats at his home in Key West, and their descendants still roam the property today. Veterinarians sometimes need to trim extra claws that grow in odd places, making grooming a bit of a challenge. Despite their odd looks, Many mitten cats are playful and affectionate, winning over even the most skeptical visitors. Some people even consider them lucky charms, believing their unique feet bring fortune to the household. A cat will normally have 16 toes, that's 4 on each paw, but with a mitten cat, they can develop 5, 6, or even 7 toes per foot. Their hands sometimes begin to resemble a human hand, except they look weirdly furry. Sailors didn't used to mind though. It was thought that these extra toes made these Bigfoot cats better at catching mice. Polydactyls considered them a sign of good luck and would bring one on board to ensure a safe voyage. Even so, when you're going to bed tonight, make sure to pause and spare a thought for the mitten cats out there. Number 3. Khaleesi, the Phnx cat. The Phnx has a reputation of grandeur and glamour. Upon hearing it mentioned, people tend to think of ancient Egyptians and pharaohs, impressive images of power and luxury. The reality, however, always seems to fall a little bit short of this and looks a lot more terrifying. The breed is sinister because it is hairless. Though it may be perfect for those with fur allergies, the rest of us have to watch in horror as we look upon Khaleesi, a skin sack of bones. This is made all the creepier by the slick agility of all cats. The thought of Khaleesi stalking the streets at night, lurking through the darkest alleys, is enough to make anyone's skin crawl. Some visitors to Linda Elmer's home have admitted to being startled when Khaleesi suddenly appears, her wrinkled skin and piercing eyes catching them off guard. She often curls up on warm laptops or radiators, seeking heat wherever she can find it. Khaleesi's wardrobe includes tiny sweaters and even a custom-made hoodie to keep her warm during chilly months. Despite her odd looks, she has a devoted following on social media, where fans celebrate her unique beauty. Children sometimes mistake her for a hairless rat or even a tiny alien, much to Linda's amusement. At cat shows, Khaleesi draws crowds who are both fascinated and a little unsettled by her appearance. Her purr, however, is just as soothing as any other cat's, and she loves to snuggle close to her favorite humans. Despite this, Khaleesi is owned by Linda Elmer from Hampshire. The Phnx is said to be one of the most intelligent breeds of cat around and are usually immensely affectionate towards humans. But one cannot say this affection is returned. The clearly visible ribs and bones on the Phnx make it difficult to connect with. The resemblance Khaleesi has to a skeleton is tremendously off-putting. Rare though they may be, you have to ask yourself, would you want Khaleesi as a pet? Phnx not. Number 2. Black chicken, Kadaknath. The nickname fowl having black bones is enough to make anyone sit on the edge of their seat, and the Kadaknath chicken is guaranteed to have you doing just that. Known as hyperpigmentation, the Kadaknath chicken has the very unusual quality of being completely black. This doesn't just mean feathers or skin. The Kadaknath chicken feels like something out of a cartoon. It has an entirely black beak, entirely black organs, and an entirely black tongue. Weirder still, the animal is also known to have completely black bones. When cooked, even the meat remains a deep, inky shade, which can be startling for those expecting the usual pale chicken. Chefs in India often use the Kadaknath in traditional dishes, claiming its flavor is richer and more intense than regular chicken. Some believe the bird has medicinal properties, and its meat is sometimes sold at a premium price in specialty markets. Farmers who raise Kadaknath chickens take great pride in their flocks, often showcasing them at agricultural fairs. The bird's striking appearance has even inspired local legends and superstitions, with some villagers believing it brings good luck. Despite its eerie look, the Kadaknath is highly valued and fiercely protected in certain regions. This shadow of a creature may be horrifying to viewers upon first sight, especially as it's so unusual from the animal they're so used to seeing. The animal has a rich cultural and religious heritage. It originates from India and is eaten widely across the country's regions. It's also considered to be sacred in Hinduism, and every Diwali, a Kadaknath chicken is sacrificed to the goddess. Geneticist Leif Anderson from Uppsala University in Sweden says that each of these chickens can trace their origins to a single mutated chicken, which may have lived hundreds or even thousands of years ago. The Kadaknath looks like a normal chicken's evil twin and is truly a foul sight. Number 1. Martha the dog. Martha the dog is quite literally a jaw-dropping animal. The victor of California's World's Ugliest Dog competition is renowned for the droopiness of her jaw and the flabbiness of her skin. The judges reportedly decided that Martha was a clear winner when she sprawled herself all over the stage. She was seen dragging her jaw and clearly having no intention of doing a single trick. This was in stark contrast to the other dogs at the competition who took this moment in the limelight to show off. While the crowd was initially shocked by her appearance, Martha quickly won them over with her laid-back attitude. Cameras flashed as she lounged on the stage, completely unfazed by the attention. Some audience members even started cheering for her, charmed by her unapologetic confidence. Martha's massive size made her stand out even more, and her deep, rumbling bark echoed through the auditorium. At one point, she even tried to nap during the judging, much to everyone's amusement. Her relaxed demeanor became the talk of the event, and people lined up to take selfies with her. Martha's ugliness comes with some upsides, however. The grand prize for her efforts saw the 125-pound beast awarded with $1,500. She was also gifted with a trip to New York City for media appearances. This isn't bad for Martha, a former rescue dog. According to her owner, Shirley Zindler, Martha almost went blind from neglect and was in much worse health when Zindler rescued her from the shelter. The intention of the world's ugliest dog competition isn't to be harsh towards these dogs, but to celebrate the fact that dogs can be lovable whatever shape or size. Just because a pet's ugly, it doesn't make them woofless. Thanks for tuning in. What's the scariest animal you've ever come across? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out more of our awesome videos popping up on your screen. See you next time.